Hello and welcome to your Yoga in 30 Minutes. I'm Cassaundra Paolini. So let us get started immediately with some good open arm breathing. Breathing with your whole body, inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up. Take some nice, good, deep belly breaths, exhaling down. The last one, just 3 good breaths. And exhaling down. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back. You're just going to bend forward and allow yourself to go into a standing mudra. Feet are about hip distance or shoulder distance apart. You allow your hands to drop over your head. Just breathe into that. And releasing your hands, palms on the ground. We're going to bring our left hand up, opening up our chest. If you want to open up your legs, widen the stance, you can. Allow you to open up your chest. And left arm down, bringing our right arm up. Opening up the chest now on the other side. You can gaze up towards the sky. And bringing our hand back down to the mat. Holding that fold. And we're going to crouch down now. And just allow yourself to open up in that squat. If you want to, you can open up, stretch out your hip flexors. And pushing your elbows on your knees, opening up a little bit wider. And if you need some support, as we come up nice and tall, open it up, and sink down into Goddess. Rising back up. We're going to step to the front of our mat now. Simple prayer. We're going to bring our right knee up. I'm going to bring it up just as high as you can comfortably. You can rotate your right ankle a couple of times in both directions. And we're going to bring that all the way back, stepping into a nice crescent pose, raising your hands. Now the hands you can do apart, together in a prayer. You can hold a steeple mudra if you like. And sink down into that crescent pose. Bringing your prayer hands down to your chest. We're going to bring our right elbow over our left knee for a nice spinal twist. Remembering to breathe. As we release our hands, right hand to the floor, left hand up. Look up towards the sky. And bringing our left hand back down to our right, holding the lunge. You might want to allow yourself to sink deeper into that to really get that stretch. We're going to slowly let our right knee come down to the mat. To a low lunge. Bringing our forearms now down to the mat. Nice deep stretch. We're going to take our left leg, stand on our forearms, bringing it back. And I just want you to rise up and hold a low plank. You can rest yourself, your belly back down on the mat, holding your Sphinx now, looking up. Hands under your shoulders, rise up into a nice cobra. Rise into an upward facing dog, lifting off the legs, pushing back into your downward dog. And you can walk that dog, just come up onto the balls of your feet. And then you can walk that dog all the way forward, back into your forward bend. And slowly rise up. We do a nice chair pose here. And coming straight back up. Bringing our hands back into a simple standing prayer pose. Now we're going to lift our left foot off the mat. Knee comes up high if you can comfortably. Remember that we're rotating that ankle to the left and to the right. Now take that left knee, bring it all the way back. Remember those toes stay forward as we rise into our crescent pose on the opposite side. Let yourself sink down into that. Bringing our hands down into prayer pose at our chest. And taking our left elbow over our right knee for a nice spinal twist. Looking to the right now. Remembering to breathe. Releasing the left hand onto the mat. Right hand goes up into the air as you look up towards the sky. And both hands back down on the mat, holding that lunge. You can let yourself sink down into that a bit more. Bringing our left knee now down to the mat, to a nice low lunge, really opening up those hip flexors. Before we bring our forearms, our elbows down to the mat, to really deepen that stretch. Supporting yourself on your forearms. Right foot comes back into a nice low plank. We're holding for a couple of breaths. And now, making contact with the mat for your body into a Sphinx, looking forward. Remembering to breathe. And breathe up as we rise into a cobra. From the cobra, bringing our legs off the mat into an upward facing dog. Breathing and pushing back into a downward dog. Now, bringing our left leg up into the air, holding our three-legged dog. Bring that knee to your chest. And as you bring the knee to the chest, make sure your elbows go over your hands, your elbows and your shoulders. And pushing back, we're pushing ourselves back so our hands and shoulders go at a nice angle as we push back. Bringing that foot all the way forward in between our hands, turning the back foot. We can rise up into warrior two. Sink down as much as you need to into that. Left arm comes down to the left knee. Modified side angle pose as we reach across, opening up that side now. Both hands down onto the mat, back into plank, upward dog. Breathe and roll back into downward dog. Right foot comes off the ground now, up into the air into a three-legged dog. And bringing our knee to our chest. As we do, shoulders come over the hands. And pushing back. Up into the three-legged dog, leg goes up. And bringing that foot all the way forward in between your hands. Turning the back foot across the mat, rising into our warrior two on the opposite side. You allow yourself to sink down into that with each breath. Bringing our right elbow down to our knee and stretching across for our modified side angle pose. Now, the more you bring your knee to a right angle, the deeper the stretch you get across. The straighter it becomes, see the line? Both hands down on the mat. Right foot back. Downward dog. And now rise up onto the balls of your feet, pushing back on that downward dog. Bringing our left foot up again into our three-legged dog. This time open up that. Open up for the hip flexors, dropping the foot to the right. And bringing it back to center. Hips come down to parallel to the mat. We're going to bring that foot again all the way in between our hands again, rising up into warrior one. From warrior one, we're going to straighten up our front leg, our left leg. We're going to do a revolve triangle pose. Right hand comes to our left foot. Now both hands down on the mat. Turn the toes forward and just hold your pyramid. Shift that weight forward, lifting off of the back foot. Right leg comes up in the air for a standing split. Both feet down on the mat. Jump back into plank. Breathe back into downward dog. Come back up onto your toes again. Balls of your feet, lifting your right foot up into the air to a three-legged dog. And then you can open up that hip by letting the right foot fall to the left side. Bringing it back to center, hips toward the mat. And bring that foot all the way forward, turning the back foot across the mat and rising into warrior one. Bringing yourself down into it, sinking with each breath, getting a deeper stretch. Bringing your left hand to your right foot, straightening up that right leg into your revolve triangle. Both hands down on either side of the mat. Bring your toes forward, holding that pyramid. Bending the front leg. Weight comes off of the back as you lift the left foot up into the air for a standing split.
Both feet down, back on the mat. And we're going to rise up again into a chair pose. From our chair pose, stand up nice and tall. I'm going to bring our arms back, the aviator arms, as we bend forward, pivot forward with our right foot coming off of the mat into warrior three. And we're going to gently place our back foot across the mat. Peacefully go back into our reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. Bringing our hands forward as though we're rolling into a cartwheel for a nice triangle pose. Both hands down on the mat, step your right leg forward, forward fold. Rising back up, hands up into the air. And as we come back, we're going to step ourselves into our aviator arms. Left foot comes off the ground as we pivot forward into warrior three now on the opposite side. And as we bring ourselves back, left foot goes across the mat as we peacefully go back into a reverse warrior. And flowing back into triangle pose now for the opposite side. Both hands in front now. We're going to step back into plank. And to do a nice counter position, roll forward into a nice upward facing dog. And back again into downward dog. Lifting our left foot up off the mat. We're going to bring that knee to our chest again and push it back out. Bringing that knee to our chest, remembering your form, and pushing it back out. And knee to our chest, hold it to your chest, and bring it down into a nice pigeon pose. You're bringing your leg, your knee, to your hand level, and just resting down. To deepen that, we're just going to go into a nice resting pigeon. Remembering to breathe with each breath, relaxing into that stretch. Hands under your shoulders now. We're going to bring our left foot back. You're going to hold your table pose for a moment. We're just going to do a nice little cat-cow sequence here. So I want you to go into your cat, punching your back towards the sky, and then the cow, arching your back, bringing your belly towards the mat, breathing with each move, cat and cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Now take a breath here. And inhale into cat. And exhale into cow. Back to table. Tuck your toes under. Rise up into downward dog. And bring your right foot up into the air for a three-legged dog. And bring your knee to your chest. Remember, break your form, shoulders over hands, pushing back. Knee to chest, pushing back. Into your three-legged dog. Bringing your knee to your chest and holding. And bringing your knee to the mat into your pigeon pose. Feel a good stretch there. When you're ready, come down into a resting pigeon. How far down you go is up to you. You can relax your full body onto the mat. Feeling the stretch deepen and deepen with every breath. Rising back up, hands over under shoulders, pushing back up into your pigeon, and bringing your right foot back now to join your left. We're going to do our table stance. And now an extended table, left arm and right foot go out together. And hold. Remembering to breathe. Hand and knee back to the mat. Take a nice breath and exhale as you extend your table again, lifting the right hand and your left foot. And back down to the mat. We're just going to do the cat-cow sequence again. Go up into the cat. Exhaling into the cat now. And inhaling into the cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Back to table and sit back on your legs and just do a nice extended child's pose. Rising up. Hold your sense position for a moment. Rising to thunderbolt, arms toward the sky. And allow yourself to relax back into your modified count. Remembering to breathe. You can go into a full count. If you want to extend that camel, you can reach one arm at a time. Slowly rising up. Hold that thunderbolt again. And allow yourself to come down into a full child's pose. Making your brow makes contact with the mat now. Bringing yourself out of that. Come back into table pose. Tuck your toes under and rise up into downward dog. From your downward dog, walk it forward. And rise up nice and slowly. Now you can stay at the front of your mat. I'm just going to change position to work with you. So from this position, we're going to focus ourselves in a nice simple standing prayer pose. As we bring our right foot up again, Bringing the knee up towards our waistline. And we're going to take hold of our toe. You're going to extend your foot out in front. And when you're ready, you're going to pivot out to the side. And you can choose to lift it up. And when we come back out of this, you can choose to bring it back to the front, but it's not necessary. You can do it from the side. Bending your foot again. And now we're going to bring it out into our tree pose. Now you can choose your hands to be in prayer pose. You can let your arms extend out like branches of a tree. You can come up. Bring your hands together at the top. Whatever you're comfortable with. Nice breath here. Bring the knee forward and foot down onto the mat. We're just going to roll our feet from the balls to your heels a few times. Bearing ourselves now back into our simple standing prayer. Feet flat on the ground. As we now bring our left foot off the floor and our knee comes up to our waist. And we take hold of our toe now and we extend out to your feet. And if you need to hang on to something, you hang on to something as we extend out to the side. And back into our front and center. And what I was saying last time is you could choose to come out and just come down this way if that's easier for you rather than coming back forward into our tree pose. Nice breath there, grounding that energy. Knee back to center and down. And just roll those feet again. And now I'm going to stand forward. We're going to just give ourselves a nice last sequence here. We're going to keep our knees down, and we're going to bring our right foot up towards our bottom, and you're going to take hold of it with your right hand, making sure your thumb is on the inside as you pivot forward into your dancer's pose. And bringing it back down the exact same way you came up. And back down. Just nice and easy, really developing our balance and stability in the best, easiest way possible. Left side now. Holding that foot, pivoting forward. And bring to breathe. And back, knees down, and foot back on the ground. Now we're just going to get ready to do our closing. Taking a nice breath here, we're just going to bring ourselves down. Nice forward fold, forward bend. Bending those knees down. Bringing our bottom down with us. and onto the mat. Or you just choose to lay back. I'm going to bring our legs up. I'm going to stretch them up. We're going to bring our left leg and cross it over our right leg. We're just going to go from side to side, nice and slowly. You can inhale up and exhale down. And you can choose to have your arms in key positions. And inhale back to center. Straighten your legs nice and up. And change sides. And do the same thing again. Go to the left. And up to the right. And back to the center. Stretching those feet out to be in front. Bring your legs down to the mat. And just allow yourself to relax into a corpse pose. Focus on taking 10 breaths here. Nice deep belly breaths. So allowing your legs to fall open, nice open supine, hands up towards the sky. Letting all that we did come together.